Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So today's reading is going to be messages and predictions for the month of January 2021. We'll start by getting a general overview of the month and what the main focus is going to be, and then we'll look more into the specific areas of love life, career, and spiritual growth. So there are 3 readings for you guys to choose from today, which are represented by these 3 oracle cards. You guys may feel drawn to a certain color, a certain image on the card, or to the words at the bottom. Whatever it may be, I'm going to show you each of them one by one so that you can sort of get a close-up look at them, and then please pick whichever one is calling to you the most. So number 1 is this green oracle card with the words Awakening Inspired Action. Number 2 is this blue oracle card with the words Expressing Free Will. And number 3 is this pink oracle card with the words Asking for Angelic Support. Okay, so as always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm going to go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number ones, so this reading is for those of you who were drawn to the green oracle card with the words Awakening Inspired Action. So you guys may have chose this one because this is already something that you're focused on. You've been working on taking inspired action in your life already, or maybe you just saw the card and thought it was nice. You thought the message was nice. Either way, I was thinking of this first card that you guys choose as an energy or a state of being that your higher self would really like you to embody. And not just for the month of January, but for the whole year of 2021. So I guess because January is the first month of the year, I'm thinking of this as an energy to sort of kick off the new year with and to be a main point of focus for the whole year. So let's talk a little bit about inspired action. I really love this idea. It's really great for working towards manifesting your dreams and your goals because it really combines in a lovely way the balance of the spiritual aspects of manifestation and the more practical aspects. And it's really important to have this balance because if we're only focused on the spiritual aspects, this can look like us, doing all of the visualization, all of the positive intention setting, all of the scripting, whatever it may be that you're doing. And then we sort of fall short when it comes to taking the necessary action and really putting ourselves out there so that things can come to us. And then on the flip side, if we focus way too much on the practical aspect, we can tend to fall into this trap where we are just taking action after action after action just for the sake of taking action, just for the sake of feeling like we are doing something, like we are making progress. And within doing that, we can fall into this idea that we need to take some actions that we don't like to get what we want. We need to struggle. We need to hustle. I hope that that's making sense, but we can get into this mindset of like, I don't want to do it, but this is just what I have to do to get to where I want to go. And inspired action kind of challenges this idea and says, well, I think it's possible to get to where we want to go, doing things that we actually want to do, doing things that actually feel good, what we want and when we want. And I think that that actually makes the most sense. If our destination is a life where we do what we want, when we want, and live in a way that feels good, wouldn't it make sense that we get there in a way that feels good while doing things that we want to do when we want to do them? And the more you think about it in that way, the other way seems to be a bit of a contradiction. Like, why would a path of suffering lead to a happy destination? Especially if we take into account of like attracting like. If you're forcing yourself to do things, the destination is probably going to also be a life where you have to force yourself to do things to maintain what you've created up until now. So I really hope that makes sense. I feel like sometimes I struggle with the more abstract concepts, but basically inspired action is having your goal in mind and waiting for this divine inspiration of what the next step is and when you should do it based on what is feeling really good to you. And you can know that you're taking inspired action because you'll get really excited about it. Like, yes, I want to do this. I want to take this step. And it's not going to feel like a task or a chore or this unnecessary sacrifice that you just have to make right now so that you can be happy later. It feels really, really good while you're doing it. And very often, just by taking one inspired action, we get into this zone. We really get into the flow, and we can start building in a way that feels a lot more smooth and a lot more effortless than what we might be used to. So leave this open to the divine, you know? If you don't know what the next step is, or if you don't know when you should take action, this is actually an answer that you can manifest as well. So rather than telling yourself, okay, I want to get here and this means I have to do this and this and this, you can ask the divine, please show me when I should take the next step. Please send me that inspiration. And again, you'll recognize it because it will feel really, really good. Okay, that's what I should do. And this is how your higher self wants you to live this month, and I think the year of 2021 as well. So rather than sticking to these rigid plans that you find kind of boring, that you find like you're dreading them and you don't really want to do them, let the divine show you a way that is more enjoyable and that comes more naturally to you, I guess is what I want to say. Okay, so this is all about the energy of inspired action. I think this is going to be a big theme for you guys, especially in January. So let's get into our tea leaf oracle cards. I've started to use these for the monthly predictions and I really like them. Just any messages that you should know for this month, any particular events to look out for. So we have the wind chimes with peace and harmony, wealth, and pineapple with reconciliation. Okay, so I'll try to combine these in as many different ways as possible. The first thing that is standing out to me is this wealth card, which is really, really exciting. This means that there is some money coming to you in the month of January. Whether that is expected or not, that will depend on your situation, but it does look like a significant amount as we see all of these coins falling from the sky. This act of them falling down, it also makes me think that this abundance of wealth coming to you, it won't take that much effort. So it might be a gift of money, or it might be a bonus of some sorts, some extra money that is coming to you with minimal efforts. And maybe that's even a result of you taking inspired action and realizing that you can produce these results in a way that feels a lot less tedious. But we have the wealth. If we combine it with peace and harmony, this could be bringing a lot of peace of mind to you. So you're feeling financially safe and financially comfortable. Perhaps this is speaking about your worry surrounding money starting to dissolve in the month of January. We could even combine wealth with reconciliation. If you guys have suffered a financial loss or you've just been struggling, this reconciliation can talk about you making up with the money, so to speak. So the money is returning to your life, if I interpret reconciliation a bit loosely. But we can also think of these two cards as talking about a relationship, reconciliation and peace and harmony. So this will just be a message for those of you who maybe have been fighting with somebody, or somebody has walked away from your life, you've walked away from somebody's life, and you're hoping for a reconciliation. These cards would show that there is potential for a peaceful resolution. No matter what was said, no matter what the nature of the conflict was, these cards are telling you that in January you will have an opportunity to reconcile with anybody that you would like to. If you come back together and have a conversation about what happened and how you'd like to move forward, I'm sorry, this is like a bad pun, but it is going to be a fruitful discussion and you'll restore harmony back into your lives. Okay, so let's move on to our tarot and oracle cards now. So we're going to look at the more specific areas of love, career, and spiritual and personal growth. I have one tarot card and one oracle card for each, and I'm going to keep reading the cards in their upright positions. So for your love life, there's the Two of Wands and a change in the wind. Just making sure they fit. Okay. So these cards actually go pretty well together. I'll start with this card here, the Two of Wands. And when it comes to these love sections, I like to give a message depending on your relationship status. So first, a message for those of you who do not have any person of interest, you are single and you don't have your eye on anyone. This can actually indicate two different potential love interests coming into your life. So January would be a very eventful month for you in terms of love life. And if you already do have a person of interest, but you're not committed yet, so you're single, but you have your eye on somebody, then this card can indicate the entrance of another person into your life, another love interest. So you would have as well these two options to choose from. If you're in a committed relationship, I'm seeing this more as another option presenting itself for you and your partner. The change in the wind card, I think this can go with any situation that I've described here. There is a potential for change. There is a potential for taking a new direction. However, if you're already in a committed, happy relationship with somebody, this change in the wind is probably not a new person, but perhaps a new direction to consider with your partner. So maybe you guys are talking about moving to a new place, or one of you is talking about starting a new endeavor, a new job in your life, and that's going to kind of change the dynamic of your relationship. I definitely see it more as a positive thing rather than a negative thing, because the Two of Wands often indicates this new, exciting opportunity, this growth, this leveling up in life. So if there was a change in you or your partner's career or living situation, for example, it would definitely be an upgrade. So I think you guys can be very, very excited about this change. And then again, this change of the wind, for those of you who are single, not in a committed relationship, this can represent a new option or a couple new options entering into your life. And I actually want to take a look more at the imagery of this Two of Wands card. One of the wands has this red string tied around it. This makes me think of fate and destiny. The one that the person is holding on to doesn't, and the person is also sitting on a lion, which reminds me of the Strength card. So I'm just going to unpack this for a second. The Strength energy, or the energy of the lion, it can indicate this situation where we have to be strong, we have to put on a brave face. I feel like some of you guys might have this belief that love is hard, that love is meant to be difficult, or that you need to struggle to obtain love. This can be a little bit of an unconscious belief even, so you may not realize that it's what you have, but this unconscious belief could keep you in situations with certain people of interest where it's very hard, where they're not reciprocating in the way you want them to, or not treating you in the way you want them to, but you're sort of thinking like, that's just how it is, and if I struggle through this part and I'm strong, then I'll get my reward later. And I see this as you guys holding on to this wand, even though it doesn't have the red string, even though it's not the connection that is meant for you, you might feel that it is because it's difficult, and that's what you kind of unconsciously associate with love and relationships and getting your reward in love, so to speak. So the new option, maybe the new option that is coming into your life, if you guys are single, if you guys are not committed, and this is a new person coming in, this might be the person who is meant for you, or I should say the person who is going to make you happier, and the person with whom it doesn't have to be hard. In fact, it can be very easy, it can be very comfortable. And some of what I said there, I think, is actually quite similar to this message of inspired action. So maybe January is a month for you guys to realize that things can be easy for you, things can be comfortable for you, and you absolutely can live in a way where everything, both the journey and the destination, is feeling really good. And then if you're in a committed relationship, this can also be a realization for you to have. But again, instead of it being about another counterpart, it will be about another change in your life. So maybe realizing that your job, the way you make money, it doesn't have to be hard. You don't have to stuff down your emotions every day just to go to work. You can actually do something that you're passionate about. So this realization can be about anything depending on your relationship status, but it will affect your love life. It will affect the dynamic of your relationship in a positive way. Like, who knows, maybe you or your partner was in a job that you really didn't like, and that was putting stress on you and putting strain on the relationship. And then when this change is made and when there is a move to something that brings more passion and more joy, it then brings peace to your relationship. It can be something like this too. But basically, to sum everything up, regardless of your relationship status, a new option is presenting itself that is much more easy, that feels much better, that is much more effortless, and this is what is really meant for you. This is what is going to make you very, very happy. Okay, so that's the love life section of the reading. Now let's move on to your career. So there's Two of Swords and Yin. Okay, I think the Two of Swords even appeared in the December prediction for somebody's career reading. It would be interesting if you guys did watch that and chose the pile that had that. But yes, Two of Swords is the exact same card that came out in one of the career sections. So we actually kind of have a similar energy going on here, where there is a decision to be made. There are options to choose from. The Two of Swords, it's a little bit more, I guess, stressful in nature. It could be a decision that is bringing you more anxiety, as opposed to this one, which I think feels really, really good to make the choice. The Two of Swords is more like, I'm struggling between these options. I don't know what the right choice is, and that's giving me a lot of stress. Like, I'm stressed about the decision, and then I'm stressed at myself that I can't choose, and you can really, really get in your head about this. So in your career, in your studies, wherever you're at right now, there will be two things to choose from. You could be choosing between two potential jobs, two areas of study, whether you should stay or leave from a certain situation, or just a tough decision to make in your current job, maybe regarding a project that you're responsible for right now. You're not really sure which direction to take it. And then your oracle card here is Yin, and this is actually quite an interesting energy to offset the energy of the Two of Swords, because when it comes to swords, this is very intellectual based. It's very much in your head. It has all to do with your mind, whereas Yin is more receptive, more intuitive, more fluid. It has more to do with our feelings. So I think with this oracle card clarifying this predicament with the decision you have to make, this is telling you that no amount of analysis, no amount of thinking things through and trying to approach the situation in a rational way is going to serve you here. This is a decision that really needs to be made with your heart and with your intuition. And because we have this basin here, this like receptacle here, I think it's telling you, rather than you producing the decision from yourself, allow it to come to you, or allow it to enter you from a higher source, from your higher self or from a spirit guide. Just be still and be receptive and let the answer come to you, because I think the more you get in your head and the more you try to analyze the situation, the more it's just going to confuse you and add to the stress. So this is going to be one that you have to really feel out rather than think through. In other words, follow your heart and not your head when it comes to making this decision. And it's so interesting. It seems to all come back to this inspired action card. Like, this is you sitting here and waiting for the inspiration to come down to you so that you can make a decision that really feels good in your heart. And now that I think about it, it's even quite telling that you guys were drawn to the oracle card with the green color, because this has all to do with your heart chakra. So it does look like the biggest theme of this reading so far for January is really letting your heart guide you, making decisions from your heart, and always living in a way that feels good to your heart and not necessarily what your head thinks is right or what makes the most sense for your head. This is a very, very heart-based energy all month. Okay, so let's get to our final cards. This is going to be about your personal and spiritual growth. So there's Six of Wands and Never-Ending Story. The energy of these cards makes me think about feeling confident, feeling good about yourself without caring about what other people think. this never-ending story card, it can talk about, you know, all the things that people have to say, all of the things that people think, and going through everything in your head, things that people have said to you, people's expectations, or what you think their expectations are, and really driving yourself crazy with that, because like this card says, it really is never ending. And I'm looking at how this fairy has a mirror, so we can think of like she was holding a mirror and looking at herself and thinking about maybe how other people must perceive her. And we can see she's even wearing a mask on this card. So when it comes to your personal growth, I think that what is asking to be worked on right now is taking off this protective mask that you have put on. I think if you guys were drawn to this pile, you may tend to wear a mask out in the world because you're so concerned with what people might think of you, what people might say of you, what they might expect from you. But the truth is that when you start thinking this way, there is no end to it. There's always going to be somebody who has a problem with what you're doing. There's always going to be somebody who thinks something negative, but you have to realize that has everything to do with them and nothing to do with you. All you need to be concerned about is that you feel good about yourself and you're not hurting anyone else, and then you're good. That's all the world can ask from you. As long as you're enjoying yourself and you're not hurting anyone, like you're golden, you're perfect. And so there is no use in thinking about every little person and how you can please them, or how you can avoid being talked about in a negative way or somebody judging you. You cannot prevent that. Whether you're wearing a mask, whether you're not wearing a mask, it's going to happen anyway. So the best thing that you can do is just start celebrating yourself now. And I realize that this can even be the energy of you, not just of other people. So rather than just other people judging or other people thinking certain things about you, this can even be your inner voice that is judging you, your inner voice that always has something to say, that is always picking you apart, because that too can really never have an end to it. You know, you keep staring in the mirror and picking apart every little thing and scrutinizing every part of yourself. That can also become like this never-ending story. And the Six of Wands says, like, just screw it. Just celebrate yourself now. Just be confident now. You deserve to be celebrated. Your beauty, your confidence, your talents, you should be celebrated. And you know what I actually really love about this Six of Wands card? Usually in the traditional deck and in many other decks, this victorious person has like a crowd of people following him. And so, you know, it is about being confident and feeling good about yourself. But in the traditional imagery, it can almost give this feeling of like, I'm celebrated because I have these followers, because I have these people around me. I can feel good about what I did. And this guy, he doesn't really care. He doesn't really care. Nobody's there, but he's feeling himself anyway. He's celebrating himself anyway. And I think that goes really nicely with this message. Like, who cares if people like what you do or don't like what you do, if people like you or don't like you? All that matters is that you like you. So be like this guy who doesn't have any followers and he still loves himself. And now that I think about it, this could actually be a really good message for those of you who are content creators, who maybe you have a YouTube channel, you have social media, you have a blog, whatever it might be. If you guys aren't like, you know, you aren't getting as many clicks as you would like to, or as much engagement as you would like to, if you feel disappointed about that now, and if you're basing your worth on that now, trust me, that is not going to go away. The threshold is just going to get bigger. So like if you're sad now that you aren't getting 100 likes on something, even when you grow, you'll just be upset that you didn't get 10,000 likes on something. So that it doesn't end. It doesn't go away. So you have to put an end to that now and just celebrate yourself wherever you're at. Basically, cut that shit out now and start feeling good about yourself. Okay? So I'm going to end your reading there. Thank you very, very much for letting me read for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself. Stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye! Hi number twos. So this reading is for those of you who were drawn to the blue oracle card with the words expressing free will. So you guys may have been drawn to this card because this is something that you're already working on, trying to focus on expressing your own free will in your life. Or you may have just seen this card and thought it was a nice message or that it just looked nice. Whatever it may be, I was thinking of this first card that you guys choose as an energy or a state of being that your higher self would really like you to embody. And not just for the year of January 2021, but I was actually thinking of this as the theme for your whole year of 2021. I guess with January being the first month of the year, I was sort of thinking of this as an energy to kick off the new year and something to really be your focus throughout the year. So this is a really exciting one for those of you who chose this one, because this is showing you freeing yourselves in January, but over the course of 2021 as well. I'm feeling you guys coming to the realization that other people's opinions or the conventions of the world or what was possible for you in the past does not determine what is possible for you now, what you are capable of creating and manifesting and doing now. So you're really like taking the reins is the phrase that is coming to my mind. It's giving me like chariot vibes. You're taking the reins on your life and saying, let's go. This is the year that I take my life back and I do exactly what it is that I want to do. You guys are taking your power back. This is what you guys are doing in January, and you're taking back control of the things that you can control, because of course there are some things that we cannot, and in fact it could be dangerous to try to control everything. It can lead to a lot of frustration. I think it's very much an energy of like distrust and doubt of the universe and ourselves when we try to control every single little thing. So maybe I should be clear in that specification that you're taking back control of the things that you can control, of the things that were always yours to control and to determine what happens in your life, but maybe at some point along the way you gave that up to somebody else, or you just lost sight of what you could control. All of that, that's what you're taking back. That's the power that you're taking back. So this is like the start of you living the life that you really, really want. And in fact, if you guys were drawn to this card because of the light blue color, perhaps, this is the color of the throat chakra. So this can also be about you guys speaking your truth. And I'm getting the message, even if it's just to yourself. Speaking your truth, even if it's just to yourself. So it could be a little bit scary, you know, to tell the world or to tell the people around you what you really want to do, because some of our dreams are very big and some people might say it's too ambitious or it's unrealistic. We might be afraid of being judged. And your guides want to acknowledge that, yes, it can be scary. So even if just in January you're starting with telling this truth to yourself, that is really a great way to start the year. And as the year goes by, maybe you'll become more comfortable telling the people around you, like your very close friends, becoming more and more comfortable with it. So I can definitely see how this would be, you know, a year-long endeavor, and maybe even longer than that. Taking the baby steps to become really, really confident with sharing your truth about what you really want to do with the world and taking your control back. It takes a lot of courage to take control and take that power back over your life. When things are in your hands, right? You feel that responsibility to make it work. But I think this card is saying you can do it. You can take those reins and you can go for it. And then there is one other energy that I'm picking up from this card, and that is letting go of attachments. Letting go of attachments to certain outcomes and certain people. And here I should specify that letting go of attachment to something, it doesn't mean that you don't want it anymore, but you don't let it dictate, or you don't let it control your happiness. So if it doesn't turn out in exactly the way that you wanted it to, you couldn't control every last detail, it's not going to completely crush your happiness or crush your hope. So you want it, but you're not attached to it. And I think that's the distinction, and that's a really happy and healthy place that you guys are reaching. Because while this is very much about your free will, I think this can also be you guys, coming to terms with the free will of people around you. So if there was something that didn't work out, a certain situation, a certain relationship that didn't work out, you can make peace with that as well. You guys are realizing that no matter what happens, even though some things don't turn out the way we want, even though there are some things we can't control, we always have the choice of how we perceive the situation, the meaning we assign to it, and how we react to it and how we move forward. And I think that's like the ultimate expression of free will, is that you guys are choosing to be happy and choosing to keep going after what you want, no matter what happens. Okay, so we'll just set that aside over here and we'll get into our tea leaf oracle cards. I like using these in my monthly predictions now. We'll just take a look at these to see if there's any particular events to look forward to or anything to look out for in this month. And interestingly, you guys got a month of the year, which there's a very small chance this is going to be January, but yeah, no, it's August. This is like almost the opposite of January. And then we have career, and finally, mule. Someone is extremely stubborn and unwilling to change. Okay, so I'll just go through these in order. August was the first one that came out, and of course we are in a January reading right now, but this could maybe speak of you receiving some news in January about something that will take effect in August. This can also have to do with a person in your life who was born in August, who's going to have a significant influence on you in the month of January, or it could be somebody that you met in the month of August. Kind of weird to get a different month in a monthly reading, but I hope that something is ringing a bell for you guys with this August situation. It could be that there will be an August born person or a person that you met in August who is being very stubborn with you. If you're already dealing with the situation, like there's somebody in your life that is not budging, this mule card would kind of indicate that that's not really going to change, and maybe there's no use in continuing to pull at them and pull at them and pull at them. Again, going with this message of free will, if they want to be stubborn, if they want to stay stuck where they are, yes, that sucks, and yes, that's frustrating, but that's their choice, and it's not our responsibility to get people out of their rut and to get people moving in the right direction. So this could be a message that it's time to let go of somebody who is being very, very stubborn, and even more so if they are born in August or if you guys met in August or something like that. It also seems like your career, so either your current job or your future career path, is really, really going to be at the forefront of your mind in the month of January. And I'm actually just getting the message right now that this mule that we see here, for some of you guys, this mule can actually represent you. So maybe some of you guys are being a little bit stubborn when it comes to your career and the steps that need to be made. It could be something like, you really know what you want to do, or you really know what you should do with regards to your career, but you're not really budging. And so this could be more out of fear rather than a stubbornness. But if we take that energy of the mule, not moving no matter how much it's being pulled, this can kind of be your energy. So perhaps your guides and your higher self have been giving you a lot of signs about what would be right for you, what would make you the most happy with regards to your career path. And just because of fear or because of uncertainty or because of doubts, you may be ignoring those signs or kind of postponing taking action on those signs. And I don't think this is a huge deal. I don't think you're going to miss any opportunity because of this. I like to think that if an opportunity is meant for you, it's just going to keep knocking at your door and keep knocking at your door. So I don't want to say this to, make you feel like you're being forced into any sort of action if you're still scared or you don't feel ready. But I think your guides and your higher self are trying to give you signs that it is safe to take this action, and it's kind of like a we're ready when you are sort of energy. Okay, so this concludes the general overview, and now we're going to get into the more specific areas So I have a tarot card and an oracle card each for love life, career, and spiritual and personal growth. And I am going to keep reading all of the cards in their upright position. So let's start off with your love life. Oh my gosh, Four of Wands. This is like one of the happiest cards in the whole deck and very, very good for love. And your oracle card is Here and Now. I love this for you. So this is like a wish coming true, a wish coming true in your love life. This card is referred to as the 1111 card, the wish fulfillment card. There are elements of destiny in this card as well, but basically it shows pure contentment and joy and celebration and happiness and all of those good things. So if you guys are single and you've been really wanting to meet somebody, then this will indicate that you are meeting somebody. If you have a person of interest, this will indicate a positive development with them. What I see for you guys, because this is a number 4 card, this represents stability and security. So for a lot of you guys, this is going to manifest as the relationship between you and your person of interest, the person that you really like, is going to solidify in some way. It's going to become more secure in some way. So maybe something that you were having doubts about, you weren't really sure where it was going, if it was going to reach a level of commitment or not, you are getting that reassurance in the month of January that yes, this is going somewhere, yes, this person does like me, and you're going to feel so happy about where you are right now. And I think that's a really, really big emphasis with this Here and Now card, is that you will actually be happy with the current situation of your love life. And I want to make that distinction because sometimes we can get happy in our love life because of a promise for something good to happen in the future, you know? Like our person of interest is hinting that they might want a relationship with me someday, and that's going to keep me going for now. Do you see what I mean? Like it's not what you really want now, but they're leaving trails, they're leaving hints that happiness could be coming in the future. And that's not what this is. This is the happiness coming right now. So the person is actually returning their feelings right now or offering you a commitment right now. So your happiness, your source of happiness is not coming from some dream or some potential of the future. It's coming from the present moment. And I think that's going to feel really, really good. You're going to feel really secure with this person in the present moment. If you guys are in a committed and happy relationship, this is a card that deals with weddings and marriages and this kind of thing. I'm not saying that you'll necessarily get married in the month of January, although that would be pretty cool if you did, but it could be you guys maybe reaching the next level of commitment, like moving in together, starting to maybe talk about marriage or talk about your long-term future, and really getting excited and happy and looking forward to that. You guys might also be celebrating something together. So I don't know if you guys in a relationship, if there's some birthday or anniversary or something that is happening in January, but this is a kind of celebration card, celebrating your love and your happiness together. I guess it could even be just New Year's, like celebrating New Year's together, because of course we do have that in January, but there may be something else that you guys are celebrating together. Anyway, no matter what your relationship status is, no matter where you're at in your love life, this is a really, really happy month. And again, I just want to make that distinction again because it feels so good. This is happiness coming to you now, not just a promise for the future, but it's coming to you now. And anybody who's been feeling unsure or unstable in their love situation, it's going to stabilize. It's going to become very certain and very secure in the month of January. Okay, so let's move on to your career cards. We have the Fool and Thinker. Okay, the Fool is really, really exciting too, so you guys are definitely on a roll this month. The Fool talks about new opportunities, and especially ones that are kind of surprise, like some unexpected opportunity popping up for you. It does indicate somebody who has sort of been thrust into a new environment, so there's a lot of things to learn, a lot of things to experience. So many of you guys who chose this pile, you may be starting a new job, or you may be getting a promotion. So you're starting a new position where there's a lot of new stuff to learn. And it kind of has this energy of something that you were not really expecting to happen, something that you were not really prepared for, but that is really, really pleasantly surprising. So it may have even been like you guys thought it was too good to be true. It could be that you get this job offer that you didn't even apply for, like just through word of mouth, you find out that this job was available and you would have never guessed. It has that kind of energy. And it's kind of funny that it's coming out with the Thinker card, because the Thinker card is a bit of an opposite energy. As you see, the Thinker is just sitting here with her head in her hands. She's not really taking any action. She's just reflecting and reflecting and reflecting. Whereas the Fool is literally standing on the edge of a cliff, like, let's go, let's spread our wings and fly. So they're two quite opposite energies. I think what is happening here in your career is that the divine wants to show you its magic. Your higher self and your guides want you to experience this beautiful, unexpected magic of the universe. A lot of you guys may have been, well, especially if you're resonating with this mule energy, doing a lot of sitting around and thinking about your potential career paths, thinking about what you should and shouldn't do and what the pros and cons are of everything, and just sort of sitting here trying to figure out what the best way is to do things and the way that is going to be the least fearful. It's like you're trying to take the safest way. You're trying to avoid fear. There's a number 44 on this card, so I think that probably you guys, more so than other people, you really, really need that security and you really, really need that predictability. But sometimes that can make you freeze up. That can stop you from taking the necessary actions. So I'm seeing this Fool as almost like a divine intervention. Like while you were sitting here and reflecting on everything and trying to come up with the right path for you, the divine already had an idea. The divine already had your opportunity set up for you, and it was going to come in and surprise you anyway. And I think this happy event in your career can make you realize, like, there is no need to overthink this so much, because the divine, the universe, always has my back anyway. I don't need to carry all of this burden of making the right decision and making sure that I stay safe, because the universe already has that covered. So regardless, even if you hadn't done all of this thinking and all this planning, this would have still found you. This would have still found you. And I think that's such a beautiful realization, and it makes you a lot more open and a lot more trusting to the universe and what it has prepared for you. So no more overthinking, no more stubbornness, no more, I always forget this word, stagnation. I think, not stagnancy, stagnation. And just being open to whatever pleasant surprises the universe has for you. But yes, this is definitely a new opportunity, a new position, a new promotion that maybe you weren't expecting, and it really feels too good to be true. There will be a lot of things that you don't feel ready for, and the universe is saying that's okay. Maybe that's what was keeping you in this still energy, like, but I don't know what to do when I reach this point and I feel like I'm not ready for that. And the universe is like, it's okay, you'll learn it when you get there. You'll learn it as you go along. And that's the best way to learn it. You don't need to be prepared and know everything before diving into it. And I know that makes us feel safe, and it makes us feel like there's less chance of things going wrong. But the universe is like, it's okay, just go into it, make the mistakes, feel dumb, do what you need to do, you'll figure it all out. They're saying like, let's go, let's just go. That's really the energy of this card. Okay, so let's finally get into your spiritual and personal growth. Queen of Wands, I love that. And soulmates. Okay, I'm just gonna... Are they all fitting? Yes. All right. So, Queen of Wands. When it comes to your spiritual and personal growth, there is a huge emphasis on you starting to express your creativity or express your talents. So for those of you who are artists, creators, writers, musicians, especially musicians, because we have the Queen of Wands playing the harp here. It is really, really time for you to start sharing this gift with the world. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be creative arts, even though that is the way it's coming through on the card, and wands have a very strong creative energy. This can really be anything that you're good at, anything that you're talented at, and that really, really makes you feel confident. Basically, start to get your talents and your gifts out there is the message for you. Even if it's just virtually, the world wants and needs to see you shine. And with the Soulmates Oracle card clarifying this, I think you're definitely going to find some, what is it called? Kindred spirits? Is that the word? You're going to find your soul family, the members of your soul group, who are just as creative and talented as you. As you start to put your gift out there, they're going to come flocking towards you. So any gift or talent that you guys have, this is like your key. This is your key to finding your people, to finding the people who really get you, who really admire you, who can collaborate with you. This does look very romantic, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic soulmate, because of course soulmates can be platonic in nature. They can be friends, co-workers, creative collaborators, and I'm definitely getting the feeling for this part of the reading that these soulmates we're talking about here are creative collaborators, and there could even be more than one. And your talents are really going to complement each other. You guys can make some really amazing projects together. There is one more message that I have with the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is all about confidence and radiance, being bold and fearless and putting yourself out there no matter what people say. And there was a similar message in pile 1, probably because as a collective, this is what we are being called to do right now, is to just let ourselves shine and not give a hoot what anybody has to say about it, because at the end of the day, not everybody is going to like what we do. It's impossible to put out something that everybody's going to like. And so what matters the most is that you like it and you have these soulmates with you. And this message is like, the people who are meant to be with you, they're not going to care like if you mess up. They're not going to care if you have a failure or if you have a setback or if you do something kind of questionable. They're not going to care. They love you unconditionally. They love you no matter what. So if anybody like wants to judge or criticize you or even walk away from you, then they're not meant to be there. And it's time for us to stop trying to hold on to people if they want to leave. If somebody wants to leave, if somebody wants to talk shit, let them do that. That's not your problem. The people who love you and the people who are meant to stay with you will stay with you. And that makes them that much more special. That makes these soulmates that much more special. And it's also time to treat yourself with that same love. The same way these soulmates will love you no matter what you do, and they'll always be there to support you and will never judge you. You need to do the same for yourself. So love yourself no matter what. Don't judge yourself. Allow yourself for these failures and these slip-ups. There's a big message of that throughout this reading for you guys, of like, just go for it, go for it. And the people who need to be there, the people who need to find you, they will find you and they will love you for it. And don't mind about the rest. We cannot, I was going to say waste our lives, and then I thought maybe it was too dramatic, but maybe it's not. We cannot waste our lives trying to please everybody. And we cannot just live in this safe little box, always thinking, always reflecting how to avoid danger, how to avoid mistakes. Just get out there and make the mistakes. Get out there and have the failures. That's where life is. And that's where the biggest enjoyment and the biggest reward is. So you guys are definitely coming out of your box in January. You guys are definitely coming out of your box. You are surrendering to your fears and just going for it and just taking the leap. Or at least the energies are very much in favor for you to do so. It will be up to you. But remember, all of these opportunities are waiting for you. So if you don't do them in January, you can do it in February, you can do it in March. They will always be there for you. And especially those of you who are artists. who are creative. It is really time to get your stuff out there. Okay, so I'm going to end your reading there. Thank you very, very much for letting me read for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye! Hi, number threes. So this reading is for those of you who were drawn to the pink oracle card with the words asking for angelic support. So you guys may have been drawn to this card because this is something that you are already working on, focusing on inviting in and accepting support from angels in your life. Or maybe you just saw this message, you saw the card and thought it looked nice and felt drawn to it. In any case, I was thinking of this first card that you choose for the reading as an energy or a state of being that your higher self would really like you to embody. And not just for the month of January, but I was actually thinking of this as a theme for your whole year of 2021. I guess because January is the first month of the year, I was sort of thinking of this energy displayed on the card as a way to kick off your new year and something to be the primary focus for your year. So I guess in some ways this card is pretty self-explanatory. It lets you know that there are angels around you who would love to help you, and you need only ask and let in their support. But one of the messages of this card is that your angels can help you best when you are very honest and very real about your feelings. And something that is sort of a recurring theme in this oracle deck is this encouragement not to fear your negativity or not to fear your shadow, but rather to embrace it, to really sit with it and accept it for what it is. And I think sometimes that can seem kind of off to us, seem kind of counterintuitive to us, you know, to come to angels with our negativity or to speak about our negative emotions to a spirit guide or to the universe in general. And I think this is because of, you know, a lot of the information that is shared in the spiritual community and in the manifesting community that I think maybe all of us have, you know, fallen for at some point. I know I definitely have, but this idea that we need to be positive all the time and that if we express any negative thought or any emotion, it's going to ruin our lives, it's going to make us manifest a bunch of negative stuff. I think that this deck wants to kind of challenge that we don't need to ignore or suppress or run away from our shadow or those, you know, sort of heavier or darker parts of us, but we should actually embrace them and be very honest about them. Spirituality, it's not just about being positive all the time, it's about being aware. It's about being aware of all of our different facets and being authentic and not being afraid of any of it, but embracing it. I guess when it comes to manifestation, there is often this message of if we hold a negative thought or a negative emotion, it's going to get in the way of manifesting what we want because it's just going to bring us more negativity. And I think that there is truth to that. However, if you just try to divert your mind from the shadow and pretend like it's not there and try to just force yourself to be positive, you are actually letting that negativity fester and you are allowing its influence to continue in your life. And I think that the best thing that you can do is to actually address that negativity, find the root of it, learn where it's coming from and learn how to deal with it so that it doesn't take control over you. And I think that's sometimes where the language of the manifestation community can kind of get it wrong or be a little bit misleading, because sometimes it kind of sounds like, okay, when a negative thought comes up, just switch your mind over to something else. And it's almost like pretending it's not there, but like it's still there. And I think sometimes it's best to just look it dead in the face and say, I see you. I see my shadow. I see my negativity. Anyway, going back to this asking for angelic support, I think your angels want you to be more open about the shit you're going through, about your struggles, about where you're dissatisfied, where you're frustrated. You can come to your angels with these things. So for an example, if you guys are really, really struggling with confidence, your instinct may be to, just keep affirming to yourself, I am confident, I am confident, I am beautiful, I am loved, I am abundant, whatever it might be. And maybe your angels are asking you to take a bit of a different approach. Like you can go to them and say, look, I feel like shit, to be quite honest. I feel very insecure. I don't feel confident in myself. And there's no need to feel guilty about this, I think there's something about us like talking to the universe, talking to our angels, where we feel like we always have to show up with this overflowing positive and gratitude. And I just think that's not authentic all the time. And they know anyway. They know anyway. They can see through us. But you can come forward to your angels like this, be very honest about how you're feeling, and you can ask them to show you the reason. You can ask them to show you the root of this issue so that you can get clarity on it, so that you can see all of yourself for what you really are. And that's how you find the solution, not just from saying like negativity bad and running away from it. You have to sort of bring it up into the light. And I think it's very important for you to ask them for that guidance from that place of like, I'm willing to see the dark root of all of this. I'm willing to see where it comes from. I'm willing to see what I can do to face this. Because if they gave you that information when you were in a mindset of like, I'm just going to be positive, it might upset you. Do you know what I mean? Like if you were just trying to tell yourself, I'm confident, I'm confident, I'm confident, and your angels just come in like, this is why you're insecure, this is why you have these issues, that might kind of rub you the wrong way, right? Because from your perspective, you're trying to stay positive. So I think it's very important for your angels that they would like you to make that first move and approach them in all of your authenticity. And then they can really, really help you best. So I hope all of that made sense. And the color that you guys were drawn to, this pink color, this is related to the heart chakra. So really speaking from your heart. There is a lot of emotional healing that can happen when you start to be honest and real in this way. Okay, so let's get into your tea leaf oracle cards now. These are just going to show us any significant events that are happening in the month of January and anything for you to look out for. So we have the quill with get back to the basics. The egg, success assured with good plans and hard work. And grapes, time to go out and have fun. This all looks really, really lovely. And I just see your life becoming simple again. I see you really getting back to the things that you enjoy, not taking everything so seriously. This message of get back to the basics, it's almost giving me this feeling of you guys, returning to a project, returning to something that you were working on that was left unfinished. Maybe life just happened and things got in the way. Things got very complicated and hectic for a while. And I really see things chilling out in January so that you can get back to what it was that you were doing before. You can get back to this simple time and get back to the plans that you made for yourself. So yeah, it feels like you made this plan to do something, to do some project, to work towards a certain goal, and it got put on hold, and now you're getting back to it, and now you're in the right headspace and you have that room in your schedule to really put in the necessary work. And your angels want to tell you that your success is assured in this thing. And then the grapes are showing me that you are taking a more playful approach to the things that you do. So you're focused less on, the output and the results and the recognition, and more just of enjoying yourself and enjoying the moment. And I think that this good plans and hard work, it's going to come very naturally. It's not going to feel like a chore that you have to do because you really, really enjoy what it is that you're doing. And grapes also make me think of abundance. So this could be something that is bringing you in a little bit of financial gain, although I think the biggest purpose is just to enjoy yourself. So this could be you getting back to a hobby that you've always really loved, creating something, picking back up on something that you started creating and then kind of fell off, or working towards a career goal that you've always wanted. I think you're going to feel really, really good about what you're doing. And take a very simple approach to it. So if you guys have had a tendency of overthinking, of getting too stuck on details, I think that's really going to remedy itself in January, and you're going to be in a really, really nice flow. Everything just feels very, very simple. Yeah, so it's looking really good so far. I see you guys being very authentic, and really living your best life, living a simple life. So let's get into your tarot and oracle cards now. I have one each for love life, career, and spiritual and personal growth. And I'm going to take all of the cards in their upright position. So let's start off with your love life. Queen of Cups. And come to the Edge. Okay, so right away, the Queen of Cups is telling you guys to trust your intuition more when it comes to your love life. So regardless of your relationship status, whatever you're currently feeling about the person you're involved with, the person you like, or even just a feeling that somebody is going to be coming into your life, this is coming from your intuition, okay? This is not like your ego. This is not your wishful thinking. You are a lot more connected intuitively than I think you guys realize, which is very much the Queen of Cups. She is very psychically gifted. She's very, very in touch with her intuition. And I think you guys need to trust it more. You definitely have a very, very good idea of what is going on in your love life. And I'm also getting the message that you are safe. Another thing is that a lot of you guys who chose this pile, you do currently have a psychic or telepathic connection with somebody. So if you're feeling very closely drawn to somebody, it's quite likely that you are picking up on their emotions, picking up on their senses, picking up on their thoughts. I see this ability very often with the Queen of Cups. When she starts to develop feelings for somebody, it's almost as if she develops this psychic connection with them because she is highly empathic. I think she has the gift of clairsentience and even claircognizance as well. So if you guys are picking up on some strange energies that don't belong to you, and you are pretty sure you know who it is, but you're not entirely sure, this is your confirmation that yes, you are picking up on the person you think you are, and it's very, very likely your person of interest or your partner or the person you like. You are psychically connected to them. There may be a situation in your love life that is progressing a little bit slowly, but that's nothing to be concerned about. I say that for a couple of reasons. One is that this is a Cups card, and this does show things moving slowly, the Cups energy, but it's more just like going with the flow. So it's moving slowly, not because there's a blockage, but just because there is no need to rush. It's sort of like things moving at a leisurely pace. So there's no need to get frustrated or impatient with everything. Everything is moving at the perfect speed. And I also say this because of the sea turtles. And these animals make me think of something that moves slowly, but that ultimately has a lot of longevity. So I guess because sea turtles live for a long time, it does make me think of a situation that is going to build really, really slowly, but that has staying power. So this is not an easy come, easy go situation. It builds up slowly and then it stays with you. So I think that's just a good reassuring message for anybody who may have been feeling like frustrated or discouraged with the slowness of things. The message for you, and maybe this advice sounds frustrating, but the advice for you is to go with the flow, because things are flowing and things are moving at the perfect speed. And just go with the flow with this confirmation that you know what's up in your love life. You are picking up on the person you are thinking about. You are feeling that connection with the person you are thinking about. Your intuition is really bang on in this situation. And then the oracle card that clarifies this is Come to the Edge. So there might be somebody in this situation who is afraid of falling, who is afraid of falling for someone, who is afraid of developing feelings. This could be you, this could be the person you're interested in, or somebody you're going to meet in the month of January, or it can even be both of you. And in fact, I can actually quite see how this Come to the Edge message could be for you, because maybe you guys are afraid of really fully going all in and fully trusting your intuition and fully putting your hope and also your energy into a certain connection. You're afraid of really trusting and taking that dive. So I could see how it could be you, and it could also be a person of interest, somebody who is afraid of committing. This can really work in many different ways, and like I said, it could be both counterparts who are afraid of coming to the edge. But like I said, there is a very strong message in this reading here that you are safe. So everything is fine, basically. Everything is fine in your love life. Everything is going according to the divine plan. You are safe to trust your intuition and trust your heart. So on to the next part of the reading. These are the cards for your career. We have the Emperor. This is amazing. And message in a bottle. So definitely some good news is coming to you about career. Again, regardless of where you're at, whether you're currently looking for a job, looking to change jobs, looking for a promotion, whether you're a student, whatever situation you might be in, there is some good news coming to you. This imagery of the bottle floating through the ocean, it does make me think of a message that has really been a long time coming. So this could be some long-awaited news, like you've been waiting to hear back about this opportunity, about this application that you sent in. You've been waiting for some verdict for a very long time, and finally you're getting the news, and it is good news. So I do see you guys being offered something, being offered a job, being offered a promotion. I don't know if you guys could hear, but right when I'm talking about you guys being offered a promotion, the doorbell rang. So there's a message coming to you guys. If you guys wanted to take that as a sign, I would not blame you. So where was I? New job, promotion. It could be a new study opportunity, an internship, something like this. And even some of you guys may be getting an opportunity that involves travel, and especially overseas travel. If I'm looking at this imagery of something moving along across the ocean, it does kind of give me an overseas vibe. And then finally, some of you may be receiving this message over the phone. So you may have a very important and very exciting phone call to look forward to, and receiving some good news in your career or in your studies. When it comes to the Emperor, this really shows you in a position of power, in a position of leadership and independence. So whatever this opportunity is, it is making you more independent. So I think it is definitely a higher position. It involves some sort of higher position for a lot of you. And the Emperor is also, confident, empowered, really living the life that he wants. So I think for many of you, this allows you to do more of the things that you want to do in your career. So you're not just like following orders from somebody else or doing things that you have to do, but you actually have the power to decide what you want to do. You have more of that decision-making power, and you could have many people who are looking up to you or people who are following your direction, because the Emperor, he does have that leader archetype to him. And this can also speak to independence in the financial sense. So this new opportunity could bring in a lot of financial abundance for you so that you can start living life according to your own rules. Maybe you can stop depending on people financially if that's a place that you're in right now. You can make your own choices of how you spend your money. And basically you guys are feeling very empowered in the new life that this opportunity is bringing you. I wonder if any of you do resonate with this message of traveling for work or for studies. I wonder if this is like an opportunity to go somewhere and sort of create your own life and become your own person, free from your previous identity. Maybe you're really discovering who you truly are. It could be something like this, but I feel all of you, regardless of what stage you're at, really coming into your own, really discovering yourself and discovering your power. And yes, taking on more of that independent, I'm in charge, this kind of role. So this is really, really, really good news for career. And another thing I want to say is that this will be a long-term opportunity because the Emperor is very stable. The Emperor doesn't really budge. So whatever this opportunity is, it's here to stay. And it is going to bring you long-term rewards and long-term success. Okay, so let's get into the final cards, this is going to be your spiritual and personal growth. So there's the Two of Pentacles, and there's Go the Distance. Okay, the Two of Pentacles, it reminds me a lot of the get back to the basics energy, like needing to simplify your life, because the Two of Pentacles can show that you're doing too much and juggling too many things. So I'll give a couple different scenarios for that. One could be that you are trying to do too much in one particular aspect of your life. You're trying to do too much with a skill you want to develop, a project you want to work on, a habit you want to adopt. It's like you're setting the bar too high, setting yourself up for failure and disappointment, and so it's not good for the long term. And I'll just give like a really simple and straightforward example. It's like somebody who wants to lose weight, but they make too many drastic changes really quickly. Maybe they cut their calories down way too much, or they're exercising excessively because it's like they just want to get there faster and faster. But when it comes to going the distance, when it comes to long-term results, it's better to do less but over a longer period of time. So just making small changes. So maybe you just want to like stop eating chocolate, or you just want to exercise for 20 minutes a day, like some light exercise. That's much easier to maintain. And if you keep doing that for a very long time, it's going to be much better results than if you go really hard and really intense at first. Because what can happen then is you start to, like, what is it called? Yo-yo, I think is the word. And it's interesting because that very much looks like the Two of Pentacles. Like you keep going back and forth between these two extremes. And the same thing can be said for anything. Like I do this with a work schedule. I try to create a work schedule that is like good and balanced for me, but I tend to schedule way too much for myself. Like I set the bar or my expectations too high of how much work I should get done. And then I get really frustrated. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so hard. And I get really dramatic about it. And then I just burn out. And then I'm really lazy for the next few days. And it's literally like this seesaw. So don't be like me, basically. Don't try to do too much. Just set more gentle and more realistic expectations for yourself, because it's a lot better for your long-term success. That's what's going to allow you to go the distance. And then the other scenario I wanted to mention is instead of going too hard on one thing, it could be that you are just trying to do too many things. Like trying to develop too many skills at once, trying to adopt too many good habits at once, taking on too many projects at once. You get the picture. You guys might have this trait of like getting really excited at new things, at new projects, and wanting to be good at everything. But I think when you try to do everything, you can't go very far with anything. So remembering this earlier message of a need to simplify your life and get back to the basics, maybe ask yourself when you're getting into a new endeavor, like, can I really see myself still excited about this and still doing this in 5 years? Or did I just get excited because it's this new and fresh thing that has come into my experience? And maybe just set your priorities of what you're really going to be doing in the long term, what is really realistic for you to continue. Like I remember there's this period where I was like, I'm going to learn all these languages. I'm going to learn like Mandarin and Portuguese and Russian, and like really KINO? No, you're not. And you know what? Maybe someday I will, but it's much better to take them on one at a time and make sure that you're really going to continue them. So that could just be a couple things for you guys to look out for when it comes to your personal growth. Focus on the things that are really going to take you far. Okay, so I'm going to end your reading there. Thank you very much for letting me read for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!